So one alternative to manually sorting your messages is filtering with some kind of filter or rule so that your inbox is checked when email comes in, and certain emails are dumped off to other folders immediately without you having to do anything. And maybe for, say, a mailing list like this, that would be a great thing because they could all be in the mailing list folder. They won't be clogging up your inbox. You won't think that there's some critical action that needs to be dealt with, and you can read through them at your leisure. So how do you do it? Well, in Outlook, what you can do is just go to the email and find the from address, because that's probably the most common thing to sort from. And we'll go ahead and we'll create a rule. So we'll right-click on the from address, create a rule. If it's from lynda.com, and just to be clear, this is not from anything at lynda.com. This is just from a sender called lynda.com, which is this one right there. We're going to move it to a folder. Mailing list happens to be selected already, but I could select any folder I wanted to. I can even create a new folder if I didn't have one ready for it. We'll just hit OK. Do I want to run this rule right now on messages in the current folder? I'll check the box, I'll hit OK, and boom, those two mailing list messages that were in inbox are now over in mailing list. And any further emails I get from lynda.com from the sender lynda.com would go over to my mailing lists. If I had a message that was coming from, say, Jeff Van West, effective email at lynda.com, that's still going to stay in my inbox. So it's only specific to that sender. So that's one kind of a rule right there. Another kind of a rule, my email server puts this bulk prefix on emails that it thinks are spam, but it's not getting caught by my spam filter and being put into junk email. Oh, gosh, I want to do that. So let's show you how to create the rule from scratch. I'm going to go to Tools, Rules and Alerts. There's the one I just created, lynda.com. And I'm going to make a new rule. And you can do it from this sort of template where it works with you. And that's kind of easy. Move messages with specific words in the subject to a folder. That's kind of what I want right there. Or I can create a blank rule. And it's pretty easy in both directions. We'll do blank rule so you can see all the possibilities. Next. If it's from a people or subject distribution list, no. With specific words in the subject, that's the one I want. I'll check it and I'll click specific words. What are the words? Anything that has dash, asterisk, 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 bulk, 3 asterisks. I want that text string. Next, I want to move it to a specified folder, so I'll check that. Specified folder, where do I want to move it to? It's junk mail. I want to move it to my junk mail folder. So it's going to go to my junk mail folder. Next. Now, there are exceptions to that rule. If there may be times when I want an exception to that rule. But right now I don't, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish. And I can hit Apply or Run Rules Now. And I want to run that bulk one on all my messages in the inbox. Run now. And you saw some kind of disappeared there, and I've got some messages in my junk folder. So let's close that. We'll hit OK. Let's see what happened. Well, it worked. It got that bulk email right here that really was spam into my junk folder. Unfortunately, my email server for some reason thinks that this newsletter that I subscribe to is also spam. Oh, drat. I don't want that. So how do I handle that? Well, there are 2 ways I can do it. I'm going to go ahead and take these 2 messages, put them back into inbox, and we'll switch back to inbox. I'll go back to Tools, Rules and Alerts. There are 2 things I can do. I could create a new rule and say, move messages from someone to a folder. I'll go ahead and do that because it makes it just pretty easy. From particular distribution list, let's go ahead and if it's from the Tech Tales newsletter, actually I need to see what that is. So I'm going to let me cancel out of this. We'll do it an easier way. There's Tech Tales. It looks like it is Tech Tales newsletter. So we'll go ahead and create a rule. Anything from Tech Tales newsletter, move to mailing lists. Okay. And now I'm just going to hit OK. I'm not going to run the rule for a second. Let me go back to Tools, Rules and Alerts. Okay, so I have these 3 items on here. And the key is, what I wanted to show you is rule applied in the order shown. See, right now, the TechTales newsletter will get applied first. So this is the first rule that will get hit. And even though it says bulk, TechTales will go into mailing lists because the bulk list isn't going to happen until later. And in fact, that's probably the one I want to happen last. So I can move it down. So it'll go search for TechTales, it'll search for lynda.com, and then at the very end, anything left with bulk will go ahead and go to the junk email folder. So let's run the rules now, and I'll just run all of them. Run now. And now, we'll hit close. Okay. There's junk email. Oh, looks like TechTales went in there anyway. And TechTales went here. So what happened? The rules, in this case, it qualified for both rules, and it duplicated my message. So let's go back and figure out a better way to do it. I'm going to go ahead and take these three messages, click one, select all, hold down my shift key to click the bottom one to select all, and we'll put them back in my inbox. And there's the junk email one. Let me delete the duplicate that got made, and we'll drag that one back to inbox. So a better way to do it would be to go to Tools, Rules, and I'll take the TechTales newsletter one and delete it. Delete this rule, TechTales newsletter. Yep. Since it's getting hit with bulk. And now I'm going to edit this rule. I'm going to change it. Now here's the first conditions. Here's what I want to do with it. But here are the exceptions. Except from, and now I can just go ahead and type it in. TechTales newsletter. And let's run this rule directly. And now, there's the bulk. You can see it moved the other one, the laptops one, got moved into junk mail. But TechTales newsletter did not. And so what I might want to do is change this rule. Instead of just from lynda.com, we'll add another one. From TechTales newsletter. That's okay. It's not in my inbox. Now it's saying lynda.com or the TechTales newsletter. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and run the rules. We'll run all the rules. Run now. And it looks like I mistyped it. But you get the idea. Looks like I mistyped it by a capital T. TechTales. Oh, and that's part of the problem. It looks like there are two L's in there. Yeah, that's the problem. It was TechTales with two L's. I didn't think capitalization mattered. So there you go, TechTales newsletter. That looks a little bit better. And now when I actually apply the rule, it should go ahead and put it into the appropriate box. Ta-da! So it takes sometimes a little bit of tweaking, but eventually you'll build up a set of rules that allow you to automatically sort through key mail and leave just the stuff in your inbox that you need to make conscious decisions about.